Alright everyone, let's talk about something we all feel sometimes, those uncomfortable feelings. Things like doubts, fears, and worries that can stop us from being our best. We all have them. But here's the simple truth. You are not your weak feelings. We all face times when life feels too hard, when the world seems heavy, and we question our own worth. But we can't let those passing moments define us. Feeling weak isn't forever, unless we let it be. It's just a feeling, not who you are. We all have the power to get back up. Our real strength isn't about never feeling weak. It's about being able to stand tall even when we do. It's about saying, these feelings won't control me. So, how do we deal with these feelings? By changing how we think, by telling ourselves a new story. First, we face them. Weak feelings grow stronger when we hide from them. The more we push them down, the more power they get. So, look at them directly. Ask yourself, why do I feel this way? Dig a little. Often, these feelings come from stories we tell ourselves that aren't true. It's time to break free from those stories. Second, we change where we focus. Stop thinking about what you can't do and start thinking about what you can. There will always be things we can't control, but we can control our actions. We can control how we react. We can choose to grow even in tough times. So, stop looking at what's going wrong and focus on what you can do to make it better. Every small step forward is a victory. And finally, we need to know that we are enough. Weak feelings often come from believing we aren't good enough, strong enough, or smart enough. But remember this, you are complete. You are whole. And you are much stronger than you think. Your value isn't about how many times you fall, but how many times you get back up. If you've been knocked down, get up. If you've felt defeated, get up. If you've been made to feel small, get up. The power to rise is inside you. So today I ask you, let go of those weak feelings. Not because they don't matter, but because you are stronger than them. Let them fade as you embrace your true strength, your ability to bounce back, and your inner power. Remember, your journey isn't about avoiding weakness. It's about embracing your strength and using it every single day. Because the strongest thing you can do is never let your weak feelings define who you are. Facing your weak feelings isn't just about noticing them. It's about bravely standing up to them. Feelings like fear, doubt, and worry get bigger when we ignore them. When we try to push them away and pretend they're not there. But the truth is, these are just feelings. They come and go. When we run from them, they end up running our lives. It's easy to think they'll disappear if we ignore them, but they just get stronger in the dark. We often believe that being strong means never feeling weak. But real strength comes from facing discomfort, facing what makes us feel vulnerable, and facing fear. Facing your weak feelings is the first step to seeing that they don't own you. They aren't permanent. They are like temporary guests, and you decide if they stay or go. Think about a time you felt unsure about something, maybe a decision, a tough problem, or just that common feeling of not being good enough. How did you react? Did you hide, try to numb it, or bury it? Or did you take a step towards it, acknowledge it, question it, and stand firm? Facing weak feelings means more than just noticing them. It means actively dealing with them. It means looking them in the eye and asking, why are you here? What are you trying to tell me? Every feeling, good or bad, carries important information. Weak feelings aren't just blocks, they're messages. They tell us where we might need to grow, heal, or change. The more we run, the more they stay unresolved. When doubt creeps in, don't silence it. Ask yourself, where is this doubt coming from? Is it from past experiences? From something someone said? Or just fear of the unknown? Finding the root of your weak feelings helps you know how to handle them. Sometimes our doubts are just our fears showing up. Fear of failing, fear of being rejected, fear of not measuring up. These are normal human fears, but they are not truths. When we face them, we see them for what they are, temporary feelings that can't control us unless we let them. Facing weak feelings also means changing your viewpoint. Instead of seeing them as problems or weaknesses, start seeing them as chances to grow. When doubt appears, it's a chance to build your self-belief. When fear shows up, it's a chance to practice courage. When insecurity surfaces, it's an invitation to remember your worth. Every uncomfortable moment is a chance to prove to yourself that you are bigger than what's trying to hold you back. But facing them doesn't mean fighting or rejecting your weak feelings. It means letting yourself feel them without judgment or shame. We've been taught that negative emotions are a sign of weakness. But emotions are just part of being human. They're meant to be felt. The problem happens when we fight them or let them take over. To face weak feelings, we have to let go of the idea that we should always feel strong or perfectly calm. Life isn't about avoiding emotions. It's about feeling them and learning from them. It's okay to feel weak sometimes. It's okay to feel scared, unsure, or not worthy. Those feelings don't make you weak. They make you human. Facing them means accepting that you're allowed to experience them without letting them consume you. Imagine looking in a mirror. You see your strengths, but also your flaws, doubts, and worries you try to hide. Instead of looking away, take a deep breath and stand tall. Look at yourself with kindness. Realize these weak feelings are part of you, but they don't define you. You can choose how to react. You can choose to rise above them. Facing weak feelings is also about allowing yourself to be vulnerable. Being vulnerable is often seen as a weakness, but it's actually one of the strongest things you can do. It means showing your true self, without hiding, even when it feels uncomfortable. Only by being vulnerable can we start to heal, grow, and change. We don't have to hide our feelings in shame. We can feel them fully, and then decide how to move forward. One reason we avoid facing weak feelings is the fear of being judged. We worry that if others see us struggle, they'll think less of us. But everyone feels weak sometimes. Everyone has doubts and fears. Our strength isn't in the feeling itself, but in how we deal with it. When we face our weak feelings, we show the world that we're not afraid to be real. We're not afraid to be vulnerable. And by doing so, we inspire others to do the same. Think about someone you've seen openly face their own struggles. Maybe a friend, a coworker, or a famous person. You saw them struggle, but you also saw them overcome it. How did that make you feel? It likely made you respect them even more, because you saw their courage. Facing weak feelings doesn't make you less, it makes you more. It shows your inner strength and your ability to face discomfort and still keep going. Another key part of facing weak feelings is learning to let go of needing to be perfect. Many of us are scared to face our feelings because we think we should have everything figured out. We want to seem strong, unshaken, and flawless. But perfection is just an idea. No one has it all together all the time. The more we chase perfection, the more we run from the reality of being human. To face your weak feelings means accepting that you don't have to have all the answers and being okay with that. When we face our weak feelings, we create space for healing. Healing isn't a straight line. There will be good days and bad days, progress and setbacks. But every time you face your weak feelings, you take another step toward healing. It might not feel like it in the moment, but each time you acknowledge a weakness without letting it control you, you're building your resilience. You're building the emotional strength needed for bigger challenges later. Rising above hard times isn't easy or quick. It takes strength, determination, and the ability to turn problems into steps for growth. Everyone faces problems that seem too big to handle. These struggles can feel like they define us. But hard times don't have to write your whole story. It's not the problem itself that shapes you, but how you react to it. Rising above hard times means refusing to let life's challenges keep you down, no matter how heavy or long the struggle. One of the most important parts of rising above hard times is your outlook. It's easy to see problems as forever, as if they're the only thing that exists. When things are tough, it often feels like we're stuck, and every effort is met with another setback. But the key is to shift your outlook. To see the challenge not as a wall, but as a chance to grow. Hard times aren't to be avoided. They're to be faced, learned from, and used to push you forward. When you face hard times, your first thought might be to hide or shut down. Instead, try to look at the situation differently. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? Often, the hardest experiences teach us the most. The problems that seem impossible teach you the most about yourself, your strength, and the world. By focusing on growth instead of pain, you can find meaning in tough times. This shift helps you see the experience as a teacher, not just something to get through. Another key part of rising above hard times is resilience. Resilience isn't about avoiding problems, it's about bouncing back after them. Life has ups and downs, and resilience is the strength that keeps us going when things get tough. It's easy to feel defeated when things don't go as planned, especially when we've put so much into something. But resilience means you don't let failure, rejection, or hardship break you. Instead, you let those experiences make you stronger. It's about finding the courage to keep going even when you don't know what will happen. Resilience is built through experience. The more you face and overcome hard times, the better you get at handling whatever comes next. Rising above hard times also needs a strong belief in yourself. It's easy to doubt yourself when faced with challenges, especially when things don't go as expected. But self-doubt only keeps you stuck in negative thinking. Believing in yourself means trusting that you have the strength, wisdom, and ways to handle difficult situations. It means knowing that even if you don't have all the answers now, you will figure things out. It's the belief that no matter how tough the situation, you can overcome it. This belief gives you the courage to take risks, keep moving, and trust that you'll come out stronger. One of the best ways to rise above hard times is to focus on the present moment. When we're struggling, it's easy to worry about what-ifs and the future. We worry about how things will turn out, how long it will last, and if we'll make it. But the future is uncertain, and worrying about it only takes away from your ability to act now. Rising above hard times means focusing on what you can do right now. What's in your control today? What steps can you take today to move forward? By focusing on the present, you free yourself from fear and uncertainty and can take real actions to overcome your challenges. Support is also very important for rising above hard times. No one should face problems alone. It's easy to feel isolated when you're struggling, especially if you feel like others don't understand. But everyone faces problems. Reaching out for support can be one of the most powerful ways to rise above it. Whether it's friends, family, or professional help, having someone to talk to, lean on, and guide you can make a huge difference. Asking for help doesn't make you weak, it makes you human. It takes strength to admit you need support, and that support can give you the strength to keep going. Another key part of rising above hard times is patience. We live in a world that wants quick fixes. But overcoming problems rarely happens overnight. It takes time, persistence, and patience to get through tough times. It's important to remember that healing, growth, and change don't happen on a strict schedule. Sometimes you have to allow yourself to be where you are, accept that you might not have all the answers, and that's okay. Patience is about allowing the process to unfold. Trusting that even when progress feels slow, it's still progress. Overcoming problems isn't a race, it's a journey. And every step forward, no matter how small, is a win. Rising above hard times also means finding strength in being vulnerable. We often think that being strong means being tough, hiding emotions, and pretending everything is fine. But true strength comes from being honest about your struggles, allowing yourself to be vulnerable, and accepting that it's okay to not be okay sometimes. Vulnerability isn't a weakness, it's a strength. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable, you open the door to healing, connection, and growth. It's in those vulnerable moments that you often find your greatest strength. When you allow yourself to feel, express, and be honest about your experiences, you free yourself from trying to be perfect. You allow yourself to simply be. And in that space, you find the strength to rise above hard times. Rising above hard times also requires hope. No matter how dark things seem, holding on to hope gives you the strength to keep going. Hope is believing that things can get better, that change is possible, and that the future holds chances for growth and healing. Hope is what keeps you going when everything feels impossible. Holding on to hope, even in the toughest times, helps you rise above problems and keep moving forward with courage and determination. Taking responsibility for your life is one of the most empowering choices you can make. It's about knowing that while you can't control everything that happens to you, you are the one who shapes how you react, what you decide, and your future. Too often, we get stuck blaming others or outside situations for our unhappiness, failures, or struggles. But when you switch your focus from what you can't control to what you can, you take back your power. You move from feeling helpless to feeling strong, purposeful, and ready to act. At the heart of taking responsibility is understanding that your life is built on your choices. Every choice you make, big or small, affects your present and your future. Your relationships, your job, your habits, and how you approach life, all these choices are yours. While you can't predict every outcome, you can decide how you react to every situation. And that's what truly shapes your life. When you start taking responsibility, you stop seeing yourself as a victim. You stop blaming your problems on others or uncontrollable forces. Instead, you realize that while outside events happen, how you react to them is completely up to you. This change in thinking is incredibly freeing. It removes the need for approval from others because you know the power to change your life is within you. You begin to see that you are the one who can make things happen. And that understanding becomes the energy that drives your actions. Taking responsibility doesn't mean doing everything alone or carrying the world's weight. It doesn't mean denying your feelings or pretending everything is always fine. In fact, taking responsibility means acknowledging when things are hard, asking for help when you need it, and being honest about where you are. It means knowing that even in vulnerable moments, you can choose how to move forward. You might not have all the answers, and that's okay. What matters is that you're willing to own your actions and decisions and take the steps to create the life you want. One common way people avoid responsibility is by blaming others. It's easy to point fingers when things go wrong, but blame doesn't change anything. It doesn't solve the problem or move you forward. Blaming others can keep you stuck in a victim mindset where you feel powerless. When you take responsibility, you stop blaming others. You start asking, what can I do to make this better? What steps can I take? Taking responsibility also means being honest with yourself about your choices. It's easy to make excuses for why things didn't work out, but real growth comes from self-awareness and honesty. When you take responsibility, you acknowledge both your successes and your mistakes. You see that your choices have effects, and you learn from them. This doesn't mean beating yourself up for every mistake. It means understanding that every experience, good or bad, teaches you valuable lessons. This honesty takes courage. It's not always easy to look at yourself and see where you've messed up, but it's essential for growth. When you take responsibility, you're not just accepting your past, you're promising yourself to improve. You're aiming to make better choices, learn from mistakes, and take control of your future. Another powerful part of taking responsibility is understanding that you are not defined by your past. Everyone has failed, faced setbacks, and had hard times. But these don't have to define your future. Taking responsibility means choosing not to let past mistakes or situations dictate who you are today. It means giving yourself the freedom to start fresh, make new choices, and create a life that fits your values and goals. Your past may have shaped you, but it doesn't have to limit you. One of the main benefits of taking responsibility is the feeling of empowerment. When you stop waiting for things to change or for others to fix your problems, you get your power back. You realize that you are the one who can make things happen. Whether it's improving relationships, advancing your career, or boosting your well-being, you have the ability to make a difference. This realization is incredibly powerful. It changes you from a passive role, where you're at the mercy of outside events, to an active role, where you take charge and create the changes you want to see. Switching your focus to what you can control is one of the most powerful changes you can make. It's very easy to get caught up in things you can't change. Life throws challenges at us daily, and often they seem too big for us. Whether it's a difficult situation, someone else's behavior, or an unexpected turn, it's tempting to fixate on what we can't change. But when we constantly focus on things outside our control, we drain our emotional and mental energy. We end up feeling powerless and overwhelmed. The first step is to recognize what you can control and what you can't. You can't control how others act, how the world turns, or many outside events. It's a waste of time and energy trying to change things you can't. But what you can control is how you react to those situations. You can control your actions, your mindset, your emotions, and your decisions. These are the areas where your power truly lies. When you stop trying to control everything around you, you free yourself from constant frustration. Think about how much mental energy you spend trying to change things that are beyond your reach. For example, if someone treats you badly, you might replay the conversation, trying to figure out what you could have said differently. The truth is, no amount of thinking will change how that person reacts. The only thing you can control is your response, how you move forward, and how much emotional space you let them take up in your life. This shift needs a deep understanding that you have the power over your own actions. You can't change someone else's behavior, but you can decide if their actions will bother your peace. You can choose to react with grace, let go of resentment, and focus on your own well-being instead of getting stuck in someone else's negativity. By focusing on what you can control, you stop giving your power away to others. One common area where we struggle with control is our expectations. We often expect life to go a certain way, and when it doesn't, we feel frustrated and defeated. You might have a vision of your career, relationships, or what your life should look like. When things don't match those expectations, it can lead to disappointment. But when you shift your focus from what you expected to what is possible, you open yourself to new chances. You can start seeing life not as something that must fit a certain mold, but as a journey full of lessons and growth. We need to learn to let go of strict expectations and embrace the unknown. It's about accepting that life may not always go to plan, but that doesn't mean it's a failure. Every experience, good or bad, teaches us something. When we focus on what we can control, we allow ourselves to adapt, grow, and become stronger when life is uncertain. We stop fighting change and start flowing with it. How we see obstacles is also within our control. When we face setbacks, it's easy to feel like the world is against us. But what if you saw challenges as opportunities? What if you started seeing every problem as a chance to learn, adapt, and grow stronger? This change in outlook can make a huge difference in how you handle tough times. Instead of getting upset or feeling sorry for yourself, you can focus on how to deal with the challenge in front of you. When you focus on what you can do rather than what you can't, you find solutions. This shift also applies to your emotional state. We often let our emotions rule us, allowing our feelings to decide how we react to life's problems. But emotions are valid and part of being human. We don't have to let them control us. You can control how you respond to your emotions. You can choose to acknowledge how you feel without letting it stop you. For example, if you're angry or sad, it's okay to feel those emotions, but it's important to ask yourself, how can I move forward? What can I do right now to feel better or improve the situation? By focusing on action instead of being overwhelmed, you can regain control. You don't have to be controlled by your feelings. Instead, you can let your emotions inform you, then move forward with purpose. This doesn't mean ignoring your feelings. It means recognizing that you have the power to choose your response and take control of your emotional journey. Another area where focusing on what you can control is vital is in pursuing your goals. It's easy to get discouraged when things don't happen quickly or when you face setbacks. But when you focus on what you can control, your actions, your effort, the small steps you take daily, you start to see progress. You might not control the exact outcome or timing, but you control the work you put in, your mindset, and your persistence. When you let go of needing to control every detail and focus on what's in your power, you see the bigger picture. You realize success comes from consistent effort, not forcing things on your schedule. The power of focusing on what you can control also helps reduce stress. When we focus on things outside our control, it's easy to feel anxious and overwhelmed. But when we put our energy into the present moment and actions we can take, we feel calmer. Stress doesn't come from things beyond our control. It comes from our resistance to accepting them. When we learn to let go of needing to control everything, we free ourselves from stress and live more peacefully. Switching your focus to what you can control is an ongoing practice. It takes time, patience, and self-awareness, but the rewards are huge. You'll find more emotional stability, greater peace of mind, and a stronger sense of empowerment. Most importantly, you'll realize you've always had the power to change your life simply by focusing on the things you can control. Embracing your strength is a big step in becoming the person you're meant to be. It's easy to think we're not strong enough for life's challenges. But the truth is, everyone has amazing strength inside them, just waiting to be used. The question is, do we see it? Do we truly accept the power we have? We often think strength is something you either have or don't. But real strength isn't about some fixed trait. It's about being able to rise, to overcome, and to keep moving forward despite life's problems. It's about finding the strength already inside us, even when we feel weakest. One of the first things to understand about embracing your strength is that it's not about being perfect. Strength doesn't mean you never feel scared, unsure, or vulnerable. It doesn't mean you never have doubts. In fact, the biggest sign of strength is feeling those emotions and still moving forward. Strength isn't the absence of weakness, it's the ability to keep going even when weakness is there. It's about showing up even when things are against you and fighting for what matters. When you embrace your strength, you're admitting that while life might not always go your way, you have the resilience to handle anything. Society often praises people for their external achievements, how much they've done, how far they've come, how much success they've gained. But true strength isn't just measured by outside wins. Strength is found in how we handle our inner battles, the challenges no one sees, but which shape who we are. The moments when we feel exhausted, defeated, and uncertain, but choose to get up anyway. True strength is quiet. It's not about showing off. It's about showing up for yourself when no one else can. When it feels like you have nothing left. It's about knowing you're capable, even when you don't feel like it. Embracing your strength also means accepting your flaws. Too often, we're taught to hide our weaknesses, to pretend we're always okay, to act perfect. But real strength comes from accepting those imperfections, from realizing we're not perfect and that's okay. Strength comes from learning to live with our flaws and still move forward. It's about being honest with ourselves about where we fall short and choosing to grow anyway. It's about saying, I'm not perfect, but I'm still worthy. I still have the power to move forward and make a difference in my own life. One of the most powerful things we can do to embrace our strength is to trust in ourselves. It's easy to look outside ourselves for approval, to seek validation from others, or to doubt our own abilities. But the truth is, we are the only ones who can truly define our worth and our power. Trusting in yourself means believing you can handle whatever life throws at you. It's about having faith in your own skills, your gut feelings, and your choices. When you trust yourself, you let your inner strength shine. You allow yourself to be the person you're meant to be without holding back or second-guessing. Another key part of embracing your strength is learning how to overcome hard times. Life is full of setbacks and difficulties. It's easy to feel defeated when things don't go as planned, But real strength is found in how we react to problems. Do we give up or do we keep going? Do we let difficulties define us or do we use them to grow stronger? Every challenge is a chance to build resilience. When you face problems and push through, you're making yourself stronger for the next obstacle. The more you practice overcoming challenges, the stronger you become. Strength also comes from knowing when to ask for help. Often, we think being strong means doing everything alone. But true strength involves knowing when you need support and letting yourself receive it. Asking for help isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign of wisdom. It takes strength to admit you don't have all the answers and that you need others to help you. Embracing your strength means knowing when to lean on others and trusting that it's okay to ask for help. Another important part of embracing your strength is learning how to take responsibility for your life. It's easy to blame others or outside things for our struggles. But true strength comes from owning our lives. It's about accepting that while we can't control everything that happens, we can control how we respond. We can control how we move forward, what choices we make, and how we show up in the world. When we take responsibility, we get our power back. We stop letting outside factors control our happiness and success, and we start acting to create the life we want to live.